Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at this 2022 Ram 1500 Rebel with the new for 2022 GT package. A lot to unpack there. So as a 2022 model year Ram 1500, not a lot changes with this truck at its core. This one is a crew cab model with the 5'7" bed. It uses the 5.7 liter V8 that makes 395 horsepower and 410 pounds-feet of torque. As the Rebel trim level, it has some off-road features. You'll notice Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain tires. It's got an air suspension. It has a locking rear differential, a couple of other things. Then there's some appearance bits that come with the Rebel trim. But what's interesting here, the reason this vehicle is relevant for 2022, or particularly relevant, is this GT package. It's a new addition for 2022. It costs about $3,000. And it basically gets you a lot of parts a couple parts that were originally designed or debuted on the Ram TRX for 2021. Like it has a console shifter and it has paddle shifters and a couple of other things. So let's do a quick tour of this Ram 1500 Rebel with the GT package here and then take it for a little drive. So the Ram Rebel has been on sale now in this current generation for a few years, so this should be pretty familiar to you. Up front it says Ram in the grille. That's how you can tell you're looking at a Rebel or a TRX. That's a pretty nice skid plate right there. You can see you've got a couple recovery hoops. Moving down the side, in the Rebel comes with Goodyear Wrangler Duratrek all-terrain tires. Pretty aggressive all-terrain right there. You can see that air suspension back there, a little bit of it at least. This one's very blue. Nothing too unique going on around back. You can see that the GT package comes with this sticker on the bed sides. You've got Rebel. Once again, it says Ram, and then 4x4. Nothing too unique about the bed here. Ram offers a bunch of different bed features. You can get the Ram box, you can get a divider, you can get kind of a 60-40 split tailgate that you can open in a few different ways. Nothing like that going on here. Let's climb inside. The interior on these modern Ram pickups is pretty nice, at least in terms of initial quality. Here's the window sticker, so you can see this is a 2022 model year Ram 1500 Rebel GT Crew Cab 4x4. As equipped, it comes in at $72,000, and that gets you a lot of truck. $72,000 is it's a large price to pay, but it gets you just about everything you could want in a full-size truck. EPA rates this 5.7 liter V8 at 19 combined, or 18 city and 22 highway, but they're certainly going to continue to improve in the coming years. Let's take a look at this GT package. So you can see that's pretty much all right there. I'm not sure if you can read that or not, but it costs $2,995. Highlights of the GT package include a cold air intake system from Mopar. There's also a catback exhaust. There's that GT decal. A lot of basic features are bundled into the GT package. So you get like leather vinyl bucket seats, a leather wrapped shift knob, which we'll get to in a minute, a passive cold end exhaust, leather wrapped steering wheel mounted shift control. They mean paddle shifters. What else? GT interior theme. So you can see the seats have some gray stitching and then gray trim in them there, in addition to the fact that they say GT on the seat backs. And then 4-way power lumbar adjustable passenger seat, 8-way adjustable driver's seat, power adjustable pedals. There's a bright pedal kit, so you can see there's some chrome on the pedals there, so they're not just basic black rubber pedals. And then a few other things. The Rebel 12 package also costs $2,995, and that comes with performance pages, some connected traffic services, Uconnect navigation with this really nice 12-inch display, and then a 19-speaker Harman Kardon premium audio system. Let's turn things on here. You can already probably hear that catback exhaust. Little crackle there. I've demonstrated this 12-inch infotainment screen before. It's really nice. It's pretty high resolution. It's intuitive to use as well. I like it a lot, and it just looks good. This is definitely one of the bright spots on these current generation Ram pickups. A bunch of different controls down here. These are fun buttons. This turns off your front and rear parking sensors. Here is where you adjust the height of the air suspension. So press these paddles down and up, and you can send the air suspension down, all the way down. And there's also a little icon there in the dash. It says lowering. And you can raise it up for use off-road. Speaking of off-road, here are some other things here. You've got the locking rear axle. Two-wheel drive would be your default setting, but there's also four-wheel drive auto, which is really nice in weather like this. I don't have to have the truck in 4 high, which is going to hinder fuel economy, but I can leave it in four-wheel drive auto when there's still some ice and slush on the road here and there. And as you would expect, there's a low range. This button turns off the start-stop, and then this is your hill descent control. As I mentioned, there are some things here that are pulled from the TRX. The first are these paddle shifters. They feel pretty nice. I mean, those are some substantial paddle shifters. You can see they're kind of a unique design because Ram and Chrysler and Dodge and Jeep all use these buttons on the back sides of the steering wheel. So the paddle shifters are kind of a horseshoe shape. If you look at it a different way there, and that's to get around these buttons. But from the front, I mean, you can grab them from down here, you can grab them from up there. You can see that plus symbol there is like fully cut out, so that's nice. And they are metal, so they feel cold, they feel heavy, they feel substantial. Pretty nice. That's one thing that's pulled from the TRX, or that originated on the TRX. Another thing is this center console shift lever right here. So it just functions like a regular shift lever. You'll probably remember that other Ram 1500 models use a dial shifter right here, so they've kind of redesigned this piece, and they've redesigned this piece in order to move the shifter from here to the center console. Honestly, I prefer the shifter right here because it's out of the way, and that frees up a lot of storage space on this center console. With the shifter here, you're foregoing a lot of space that would be up here and useful for storage. Instead, though, you get this, which I guess is meant to give it kind of more of a muscle truck feel. I don't know. Doesn't really do it for me, but to each their own. And luckily, you can get a Ram 1500 Rebel without the GT package if you don't want this right here. So let's hop in the back real quick, and then we'll go for a ride. So there is a ton of space back here. That's a common theme across these crew cab configurations throughout the full-size truck segment. So I mean, I've got legroom for days. I mean, I'm about 5'10", 5'11". That's where I have the seat when I'm driving, and I mean, I've got about a foot of space between my knees and the driver's seat back here. So this is really nice. This would be a great vehicle to take a road trip in. This one, it's kind of a mid-tier package. So you've got USB-A and USB-C back here. Love that. Love that Fiat Chrysler or Stellantis or Ram or whoever uses USB-C. That's a very forward-thinking move there. Then you also get heated outboard seats and then 115 volts AC inverter back here. Lots of possibilities for a 3-prong outlet inside the vehicle. Over on the door panel here, things are pretty nice. Nice door panels from the front carry on to the rear, so you get some soft touch materials here with contrast stitching, a couple of different finishes. The door handles feel pretty good. They're a little scrawny on the back here, but that's okay. And then there's some more trim bits in the door pulls. There's a grab handle here. Oh, I should mention the big panoramic sunroof. That certainly adds to that $72,000 MSRP, but this will let a lot of light in when it's open. Not great for recording a video, but you're just gonna have to trust me that it lets a lot of light in. And then overhead, you got some hooks, lights, and then some speakers back here. See, center armrest, 2 cup holders, not much else. Nice pull tab here that makes it really easy to pull down. And yeah, that's the back seat of the 2022 Ram 1500 Rebel here. I could take a nap back here easily. Okay, going for a ride in this 2022 Ram 1500 Rebel GT. So like I said, we're in 4-wheel drive auto mode right now, which is nice. Anytime you're driving through snow or it just keeps you from spinning the rear wheels anytime you pull out hard onto, say, a highway or a freeway on-ramp. Air suspension feels pretty good. There's a fair degree of adjustability to it. I don't have a video from this one, but I have a video of a previous Ram Rebel that I recorded that shows the air suspension going up and down. You can put it in low mode for loading it or getting in and out, and you can also put it in high mode for anytime you're off-road and need a little bit of extra ground clearance. You can also get the Rebel with without air suspension, and in that case it comes with, I believe they're Fox shocks, and they actually have remote reservoirs in the rear. There's 50 miles per hour, definitely a strong V8 engine. Like I said, 395 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic, so it's a big truck V8. I don't know what more you could really want. So you can definitely hear the exhaust. Definitely lets more of the engine sound come through the cabin. Some people will like that. Others may not. Once again, though, the nice thing is you can get a Rebel without the GT package if you don't want to hear the exhaust all the time. So right now the truck is in aero mode, which is one notch from the lowest setting on the air suspension. So the idea here is that it keeps you kind of low for driving at higher speeds on the highway. First speed bump. And air suspension does feel pretty good. Last speed bump right here, it's a little bit bigger. It was about 27, 28 miles per hour. Air suspension's really nice. It really smooths out the ride. So I'm not hearing the exhaust much right now. As soon as you get on the gas, you start to hear it. Backup camera is very high resolution. It only takes up the top half of this 12-inch infotainment screen here. Colors look good. The image is pretty clear. Could maybe be a little bit better, but in terms of a thumbs up or a thumbs down, backup camera here definitely gets a thumbs up. All right, so there's your look at the 2022 Ram 1500 Rebel with this new GT package. At its core, the Ram 1500, its selling point to me has always been the design in the interior. I can't speak too much to long-term reliability, although I will say that Chrysler products, Ram trucks, they've been known to have issues here and there, but we really can't speak to the long-term reliability of this new generation Ram 1500 because there just isn't that much data out there yet because not a lot of time has gone by. But the design here is definitely a selling point for me. Design's subjective, but as far as materials and surfaces go, those are all pretty nice here. Same with cabin ergonomics, even with this center console shifter, which I don't love. It's still easy to reach everything here. The buttons are pretty big. You could do anything and everything in this interior if you're wearing big heavy snow gloves, so that's definitely good. As far as the Rebel goes, it's kind of a mid-tier off-road package, so it would compete with something like a Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, maybe a Chevrolet. It's kind of in between the Chevrolet Silverado Trail Boss and the new, for 2022, Silverado ZR2. It's kind of right in the middle there. And Nissan Titan Pro 4X, maybe not really. There's also the new Ford F-150 Tremor. Tremor's kind of a level above. If you compare the specs, and especially the off-road stuff, you get a little bit more with the F-150 Tremor than you would the Ram Rebel here. But it's still a decent off-road package. And then with the GT stuff, it kind of turns it into a little bit of a muscle truck. You get the paddle shifters and the center console shifter here from the new TRX. And then some stickers, the exhaust, the cold air intake, although I don't know that they re-rate the engine horsepower to factor in the addition of that cold air intake, but I don't know. So yeah, the Rebel GT here is kind of like an off-road muscle truck. If that's your thing, then the GT package costs just $3,000, so not a bad deal here for the 2022 Ram 1500. Thanks for watching.